My husband bought what? On where? Season 1, episode 7? So we got the mystery pen in episode 6. And it didn't seem to write. And the light didn't seem to work. And it turned out the batteries needed to get cleaned off a little bit. And then all of a sudden the ink showed up because it's a UV reactive light, or ink, and it's a UV. It's a UV light. So apparently I've got some hyperfluorescing stuff on my hands.
What does our table say?
Yeah, the table does too. That part doesn't surprise me because even Elmer's glue probably does that.
Oh, okay.
So, on the docket today,
Oh, sheesh.
apparently they really wanted to cram as much as they could into one package.
Yeah. I knew it was a lot, but seeing it visually more so is more shocking.
Okay, so this is a lot smaller than I expected it to be. Oh, but it is lighted. So this is a Halloween lantern. It has a skull on one side, has the on-off switch down here.
Oh, let me turn off the light again.
Sure. Kind of a rotating set of LEDs. Really kind of a fun little decoration if you've got a little Halloween theme party at work, or just want something a little at home. A little something fun to add. You could probably put this up in your car too. I mean, I don't know if you'd want that dangling from your rear view mirror, but it could work.
Nice decoration for the work. Your little office space.
This is the Christmas ornament for 2020.
Oh no.
The Christmas ornament for 2020. It does not come more accurate than this. It's got 2020 with a roll of toilet paper for the second zero. It's got hand sanitizer here, and you can get it with as many Santas with masks as you have people in your family. So we have 5 masked Santas in our family. And, well, we all know about the pandemic causing the toilet paper issue and the hand sanitizer issue. But nobody has yet figured out where the glitter herpes, the glitter my family likes to call craft herpes. So nobody ever figured out how to fix that pandemic. I'd like to see an inoculation against that.
Dresses should not have that kind of glitter on it.
Is this a flashlight?
Sure, it looks like it.
Ooh. I lost a flashlight not too long ago, and it made me very, very sad. Because it was my favorite blacklight flashlight.
Oh,
and it runs off of an 18650 battery, which apparently I do not have on hand. I thought I did. I was mistaken. So we're going to pause this. unpause. Remember the Gobo flashlight from episode something? Well, it happens to take the exact battery. It doesn't want to come out. That's how well designed these are. They make it where it doesn't just fall out.
Give me my help.
I need lots of help. This one I got eventually. So, no sleeve for it to fit into, it just fits perfectly.
Oh, and I light mine on.
It works.
That's a good thing.
So, even with the overhead light on, you can see it hyperfluorescing.
They can't actually.
Oh, okay.
There, now they can. Nope, they can now. You just had to move the camera.
And, in theory, the overhead light is too bright.
Nope, it's not.
The camera needs to adjust its brightness.
There we go.
It was overexposed because the camera was
Yep.
being funny. So the black light flashlight makes things fluoresce, including this timer that I drilled a hole into right here and put some sodium fluorescein into the water, which in the past, however long it's been, has had some interesting bonding effects with the water and the plastic. But that's a side story. So, compact flashlight does have a nice little zoom feature. Not immensely bright, but bright enough to do the things that I'm looking for it to do. Kind of a sleek little setup for it. I like that. And takes my new favorite battery.
There you go.
So these little guys, you put on your fishing line
Oh,
if you're fishing at night, and when it gets a tug on it, it lights up.
nice.
So you can see both where your fishing line is at, and also, if you can't tell that something's jerking on the pole, you ought to be able to tell when the light lights up in the water that you got a fish on the line.
Cool.
And this is a 10-piece setup. I'm excited to try these out. What's your bet?
Flashlight.
Do you think it's a flashlight? I think you're right. Oh, I didn't. So this was a different design. I have not really noticed this design on flashlights before.
Screwed.
That's fine. A very kind of a unique face to it. Get the reflector in there right. And that is the... Okay, so you got a few options as far as taking it apart. So you can take it apart on the front end to get the battery in, or, and I would probably recommend using the back end. Yeah, that one's got a battery.
This one.
But if for whatever reason, if you needed to clean this out, that would be a nice way to be able to get up to the spring to do any repair on it or whatever. Thank you. Let's see if I put the battery in the right direction.
You did.
I did, and this is
Interesting.
also a UV light, but it's got a lot of the white spectrum in it. So you can see hyperfluorescing off of the same things that we could see hyperfluorescing earlier, but you don't get the purple hue from the black light. So it's like they've got a visible and IR, not IR, but UV light in there. The visible simply so you can see when the hyperfluorescing is going on. Oh, I know what this is. That's ink from the pen.
And the yellow's from the fluorescing
Yeah.
from work.
Yeah, that's from sodium fluorescein at work. So it's actually kind of a neat factor because you can use it in other situations and not have the color hue cast that you get with some other lights. That is a nice feature. It's not as bright, but in some ways that's more effective.
Yeah.
And also sleek and compact. So ooh, this is an orange smoke cake. So if you do photography or if you want your picture taken and you want to have some kind of effect smoke, a cake like this will last usually 60 to 90 seconds. You get a strong sulfur smell in the air. So depending on where you're at might determine if you want to use it or not. Also, it will, like this one in particular, when it burns, it puts out a color that will color your clothes if it's close enough. Yeah, I used one in the lantern,
Yeah.
and it turned the entire inside orange.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't look at it
Yeah.
afterwards.
Which was actually kind of neat, but oops.
Yeah. Oh. You ordered more.
Oh yes. So not. I like magnets.
The
these
scissors
magnets-
were getting pulled towards the magnet.
These magnets are countersunk so that you can screw them into a wall. And then maybe not something quite this heavy. Or actually it would work.
Gotta
Just
attach it just
if
right.
it was down here it would have a better grip, but I'm trying to hold on to it, so. But you can mount these onto your wall and then hold metallic objects up with it, and now you've got a permanently fixed solution from a fairly strong magnet. It's not as strong as the solid ones, which you'd expect because it doesn't have the same body, but gives a little bit more particular function.
Yeah.
Also has a strong grip on the outside, but a little bit less in the middle. So this is almost easier to get apart than the same
solid one.
solid ones. Yeah, I really like that. I was hoping they would be exactly like this. What's that face for?
I want to know if the description is true, but it is.
Well, what's the description?
Working lamp.
That looks like a working lamp's battery housing. This is a UV flashlight and normal flashlight in one. Notice the theme today?
Yeah.
This is what happens when you lose your favorite light. So this one has 5 modes. They have a high, medium, and strobe, and then a high UV and a low UV, which is kind of a nice function. Neither of the other two UV/black lights had a UV high or UV low. And neither one of them gave white and UV as an option at separate times. And still takes the same model 18650 battery. Now, if you haven't seen one of these, this is the adapter housing. So if you didn't have an 18650, you could use the adapter housing instead and use AAA batteries.
Oh, wow.
This doesn't translate. When I saw these and said, oh, look, it doesn't need a sleeve, when they need a sleeve, they are functional to use one of these. If they don't need a sleeve, these won't fit because these take up more space. And that's why they need the sleeve. So
that's on low, I think. Oh.
this is UV high. You want to hold that? So this has a little bit of a tint, not really the same tint to it that the first one had. This guy had the strongest tint. This one had the least tint. This one kind of gives the best balance between both, I think. Soft, like, give it a half press. So this is the low UV. This one, I think, on low is more purple, more in the black light spectrum. But if you wanted to save power and still be able to see things in a different light, because, I mean, in the camera you can see these glowing. They're brilliantly bright.
Turn it off.
Yep. This is a Halloween decoration.
Apparently.
It is a ghost with a witch's hat, and it says boo. And it's got a little styrofoam piece inside the head. This is kind of like a felt. It's not quite felt. Somewhere between felt and paper. But fun little Halloween decoration, just in time. And if you have a black light out, it'll glow. So if you saw the bats from episode 6, they'll go well with the ghost.
Ooh. Don't hurt yourself.
Ooh, these are wiggly.
Yeah, like a fish.
So a couple fish hooks with the hooks in them. They are barbed. The eye is right up here above the actual eye. So in theory, I mean, that should entice a bigger fish to come have some dinner, and then maybe become dinner. And if you wear them just right, they could also maybe play off as a pair of fish wearing stilettos.
Those need to go somewhere up high and
And back in the bubble wrap.
yeah. Uh-oh. I'm sorry for whatever I just cut off. Because it's part of the bat.
Uh-oh. You've got an injured bat here. You've got an injured
I'm
bat.
really sorry.
Do you have a medic?
No.
Oh, it's that part. Okay. So we took just the tip of the wing off. So it's now a flightless bat. The pictures made this look quite a lot bigger. I thought this was going to be closer in size to our friend the ghost. And I honestly thought the ghost was going to be about 3 times the size as it was. I guess that's what I get for not knowing the metric system.
Yep.
But I can think of a couple kids that might not like having a bat that feels really, I mean, not terribly lifelike. It doesn't have anything pokey. It doesn't live. It doesn't screech.
Doesn't land on you when you're at the lake on your swimsuit.
Did that actually happen?
Not to me, but to one of my friends, yes.
Oh, jeez. So yes, this bat will not land on you while you're at the beach in a swimsuit or anywhere
Yep.
that it isn't from.
Yeah.
But that's probably how it's going to get introduced to the kids. Or maybe swooping down from their door when they open it or something. I don't know. I should probably take this into work too. This will be fun. Oh, yeah.
All 3 of these to work.
All 3 of these are definitely going to work. And I might even put this up at work, start celebrating the season early. 'Tis the season for toilet paper. Fa la 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 la. Ow! Thank you for joining us in our antics. In My Husband Bought What? From where?